What is up, team? I just wanted to say a huge thank you for purchasing this hybrid from home e-guide. You are going to love it. I put months and months, well, technically years, because this is tried and tested twice. I've done it myself. I've used literally these workouts, this plan to work towards both of my marathons. So hopefully you are going to love this, and I would love any feedback on this at all as well, of course. But I did just want to quickly run through with you everything that's in here, just so we're extra clear, so you can really optimize this plan and you know exactly how to use it properly. So it's a 14-week plan. That is a main, that's the 12 weeks main, and then you get 2 deload weeks. So if you are booked in for a marathon or a race or something, you need to account for those deload weeks as well. So make sure you book that 14 weeks and you start from the right week and build up that way. That's the first thing I'm going to say on that. So once you get in here, every little snippet that you see is oh yeah, it is. It does work, just not while I'm sharing the screen. But these are all links to various workout videos, whatever it's classed as. So this is your 6-minute mobility. But before I get into that, we're just going to quickly go through the contents. So you've got getting started. I would like you to please read like the majority of this in its entirety before you start asking me questions, because your questions might come up later down the line. But yeah, firstly, for the workouts, you will need a resistance band and preferably 2 kettlebells. The first one, I want you to be able to safely press it above your head with one arm, and then a slightly heavier one for your leg days. If you want 2 heavy ones, that's fine. If you want to use your heavy one for your upper body days as well and just press with 2, you can do that. So there's ways around it, and you need your resistance band. And then you'll first come across my 5 non-negotiables. So please read through all of these. These are all really important to really optimize this guide, really optimize your performance and get the best results that you can at the end of it. Then you come to your run types. These are all, they're just like descriptions of what exactly they are, what they're for. Hill reps, they just describe exactly why they've been programmed in and how you should best tackle them. Then throughout the runs as well, you've got your RPE. So this is your rate of perceived exertion. So I want you to look at those. It's not on all of the runs, but for example, an easy run, I want you to be sitting at a 4 or a 5. So you should be at a really, really comfortable pace, a pace that you can have a conversation and run. And one of my favorite tips for that is to actually ring someone or run with someone, or just talk to yourself if you need to, but double check by always putting that together. Then you get into your progressively harder paces. So this might be the marathon pace that you've chosen, or maybe you're not working towards a marathon, but yeah. Then you get your faster than race pace. These are usually the tempo runs. So you're faster than race pace. And then you've got your RPE of 9 or 10. I don't think I've actually programmed any 10, but 9 is you are sprinting, absolute max exertion. You should be really needing to recover from those by walking, if not like a very, very slight jog, but you should be really going for it. Then I want you to choose your focus. So what is your main goal? You need to really think about why you want to be hybrid. If it's just for basic health and you want to incorporate strength and running for optimum performance in both, then the equal focus is for you. If you're focused on running towards a marathon, a race, half marathon, even a 5 or a 10K, and you really want to focus on your running, this running focus is for you. You will have 1 less strength session per week and an extra run per week. And then again, if you want to focus still on your strength and muscle hypertrophy, you still want to build a lot of muscle and that's your priority, then the strength focus is for you, because you'll have only 1 run a week, but it's just maintaining that cardiovascular fitness as well. So that is who it's for. So these are just example weeks. So obviously you can rearrange these depending on your prior commitments. But for example, the equal focus, you'll have 3 strength sessions per week and 2 runs. Ideally, your long run, even though it is quite an easy run, ideally have a rest day before that, or at least don't do leg day before your long runs. When it comes to an easy run, it doesn't matter if you've done upper body or lower body before those, because that's just ticking the legs over. But when it comes to the long runs, even though they are classed as an easy run because you're running at an easy pace, try not to do something directly before those. Your running focus, you have 3 different runs. And again, you can rearrange these around your other activities. They are numbered, but obviously you can choose the ones that you want to do, but I have numbered them as those would be my preferences for you to do. Although if like you can obviously choose which ones you want. And then the strength focus, you have 4 strength sessions per week. So all of the videos in that week you will be doing, and then you only have 1 run. And you can choose which run that is really, because it's purely for enjoyment, just checking that you are ticking it over. So you can choose those, preferably not just hill sprints, but by all means, choose that as your 1 run a week. That is killer. Okay, then I want you to choose. So once you've chosen your focus, I want you to choose your run level. So every day, people, like if you are relatively new to running, or you just want to run for enjoyment, or you don't have time for super long runs, this is for you. You could even choose this if you are building up to a 5 or a 10K race. If you are working towards a half marathon, you can choose either this one or the next one. Totally up to you. Depends on your goals. If it's your first one, I'd go with if you're trying to beat a PB, then I would probably look at maybe going for the marathon, because then if you're training for a marathon and then end up doing a half marathon, you'll be able to run it a lot quicker. Marathon, this run level is for you. It's sort of in the name anyway. If you've signed up for a marathon and you're like, hell yeah, let's go. This is still for you if you have never run a marathon, and obviously if you're working towards your first one. However, if you are a complete beginner and you've signed up to a marathon, I would like you to start with the everyday, but obviously make sure that you have allowed enough weeks to be able to fit in at least 1 everyday program. So that's the full 14 weeks, because I want you to include the deloads just to have a bit of a deload week, and then the full marathon prep as well. So really, if you're a complete beginner and you've signed up to a marathon, you need to be starting to train at least 28 weeks before. So we're looking at half a year there. Yeah, you need to build up to it nice and slowly. So starting with the everyday program and then coming back in and starting again with the marathon program. If you do need more workouts and you don't want to repeat the workouts, that's fine. We have loads in the backlog of the Train with Lou membership if you want to sign up to that on the side. But you won't, honestly, by the time it gets back round after 14 weeks, you go back to the start of those workouts, you're not going to remember the workout. Like, it will seem new again. So don't worry about repeating them. It's all good in the hood. Right, when it actually gets to the workouts and the runs, so these photos are all links to the YouTube, and that is the full video. So you literally, all you have to do is follow my workout. These are the exact workouts that I did on the build up to my marathon. I've literally stripped it back, apart from I was doing 5 a week. But that was too intense and I got potentially a little bit injured. So I've stripped it back a little bit for you guys, because I did seriously overtrain. But this is what I have optimally put together, and it is obviously tried and tested. It was amazing and you're going to really enjoy it. So just to explain a little bit more, ideally, if you are only choosing 2 of the workouts, I want you to either go for the full body and or one of the legs, because I know it seems like your legs are going to be knackered from the runs, but the more muscle you can build into them, the better from the strength training. So really important that you don't skip leg day, because we do a lot of single leg work, which is perfect for running, because running is a unilateral exercise. So the more we train the legs and the arms unilaterally, the more effective it will be for our runs. The bit I really wanted to explain was the runs down here. So you see here, you've got an E, that's your everyday. So the top section is if you are on the everyday program. The M is for if you are on the marathon program. So that is your run 1, run 2, run 3. Easy long run, self-explanatory. You literally run at an easy pace for the time given. A tempo run. For this one, for example, you have 4 different intervals of 5 minutes running at an RPE of 8. So remember what we said about the rate of perceived exertion. An 8 is you are going for it slightly faster than your marathon pace would be, or like you're like not a sprint, you're not going hell for leather. It's a sustainable pace that you can run for those 5 minutes. Like I don't want you to set off too fast and then by the 2nd or 3rd minute you've slowed down the pace. That pace needs to stay the same for the full 5 minutes. So it's whatever the fastest pace you can maintain for those 5 minutes at an RPE of 8. Or if you are building up to the marathon, you have 7 intervals of 8 minutes. And then your hill sprints, you have 10 intervals. So you sprint for 30 seconds and then walk back down. So usually this little small writing down here is a little bit of note for recovery. An easy long run, ideally you should be stopping. So I feel like maybe I should have gone a little bit easier on this one on reflection, because I have said this is for beginners. Maybe I need to do another little mini beginners one, but obviously just do as much as you can. If you are a complete beginner and the thought of running for 30 minutes terrifies you, I've done a full podcast on top tips for getting started, but the main one is slow down the pace so it's enjoyable. Make sure you can actually have like put string sentences together. If you can't string a full sentence together without going you're going too fast. So just slow it down. It doesn't matter if you are literally at walking pace, just slow it down and it will build up. Progression run, I'm not going to go through all of these, just a few more examples, but the first 7 minutes, so you'll do a 5-minute warm-up and then you'll get to your first 7 minutes at an RPE of 6. And then the minute it goes over into the next 7 minutes, you go up an RPE, then up an RPE. So that last 7 minutes, you should be really pushing it. Like that should feel difficult. Again, a few more examples. Park run, that's just like a time trial. So I just want you to go for it. Give that a good welly. Yeah, so I think that sort of explains most of that. I would say, yes, prioritize your leg sessions and the full body sessions. Definitely don't overdo it though with the legs. Like if you've only got 2 workouts, don't choose your legs and the glutes. You need to be doing at least one of the upper body sessions as well. Okay, so you've got 12 weeks of that, and then you go into your deload weeks. You'll notice that the runs are just all easy. I don't want you to throw yourself, like, don't injure yourself in the last 2 weeks before. Like, just chill out, slow it down, even reduce one of the workouts if you want as well, depending on what race you are building up towards. And then you have all my favorite recipes in the back and exactly what I had before my marathon. And then some lovely FAQs as well, frequently asked questions that you can do. So I hope that makes sense, guys. I just wanted to run through with that with you, but yeah. Enjoy the program, review it, please. Let me know any feedback. Let me know how you're getting on. Tag me in your runs at the Exercise Engineer. I love to see it. Let me know how you're getting on, which workouts you're loving, which runs you're loving, which runs you're hating. Usually the hill sprints, but just let me know, and I can't wait to hear all about it. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I am still recording. Bye. I don't know how to stop. End. Bye.